Hello everyone, welcome to Just Invest Today, and today we're going to have an important topic to talk about. Today we're going to be talking about diversification. I feel like this is such an important topic to talk about because when you're a beginner investor and you're just starting out, it's almost like you're fed the diversification talk. Like everyone talks about you need to diversify. Even if you go to a bank and you're first starting out, they always talk about diversification and how important it is. So diversification is only important if you don't want to learn about investing. So that's the thing that banks are trying to teach you guys, and they just want your money so they can become so you can become basically a passive investor and invest in their fund. But if you become an active investor, which is what I kind of teach on this channel, then you gotta learn that diversification is not where it's at. You actually have to put your money concentrated into a few wonderful businesses. Before we get into this video, if you can like my channel and subscribe to it, it will really help me out on growing this channel. And I thank you guys for actually looking at it and watching these videos. But if the average person doesn't like investing, doesn't like looking at 10Ks, doesn't like researching companies, then it's okay to diversify and just become a passive investor and just invest in the S&P or the TSX, wherever you are, just invest in the market. So that's okay if you're just a passive investor and you don't want to learn investing. But if you want to make the big money, if you want to become rich in this, then you have to become an active investor. So once you figure out what type of investor you are, you have to put in your mind that diversification does not make sense, right? So when you think about diversification, even think about the best companies in the world and how all the rich people or all the people who's on the Forbes and stuff, think about it. They all have one businesses. Usually the people who are on the top, like Jeff Bezos, like Elon Musk, like they only have one business if you really think about it. Like, so when you think about that, Warren Buffett says repeatedly that in order to become rich, you only need 3 businesses in your lifetime.
Do I need to own 28 stocks in order to have proper diversification? Uh, it'd be nonsense. And within Berkshire, I could pick out 3 of our businesses, and I would be very happy if they were the only businesses we owned and I had all my money in Berkshire. Now, I love it, the fact that we can find more than that and that we keep adding to it. But 3 wonderful businesses is more than you need in this life to do very well. And the average person isn't going to run into that. I mean, if you look at how the fortunes were built in this country, they weren't built out of a portfolio of 50 companies. They were built by someone who identified with a wonderful business. Coca-Cola is a great example. A lot of fortunes have been built on that. And there aren't 50 Coca-Colas. There aren't 20. If there were, it'd be fine. We could all go out and diversify like crazy among that group and get results that would be equal to owning the really wonderful one. But you're not going to find it. And the truth is, you don't need it. I mean, if you have a really wonderful business, is very well protected against the vicissitudes of the economy over time and the competition. I mean, we're talking about businesses that are resistant to effective competition, and 3 of those will be better than 100 average businesses.
3 wonderful businesses, and you can become really rich. So that just kind of shows you that the diversification model doesn't always have to be it, and it doesn't always work if you're really researching companies and you understand what you're doing. Just think about this. If you have one wonderful business, why would you put money into like the 12th business that you kind of like, instead of putting all your money into the first business that you really enjoy and you know a lot about? You research, you did all your background checks, you know it has a competitive advantage. Why would you put your money into the 12th business that you kind of don't really like, or put your money into the first business that you already know and you know it's going to make money? It doesn't make sense. So that's why diversification can be kind of flimsy, and Warren Buffett teaches a concentration in the best companies to buy. Another mental model that you get when you buy these wonderful companies is that you're afraid to like buy other businesses if it doesn't meet your criteria, because every business now you're gonna compare it to your best business that you have in your portfolio. So when you compare everything to like your best businesses, then you're not going to be just wandering around buying all these mediocre, not so good companies, because you're going to be comparing it all to your best companies. Why buy these mediocre companies that you don't know if they're going to do good, and instead of buying your best businesses or the businesses that you love that you know are going to be compounding your money far into the future? Everyone keeps mentioning, oh, if I diversify or if you don't diversify, it's so much more riskier. But that's not the truth, guys. So we gotta focus on that concentration. How is it more risky when you're more comfortable with a business, you understand that business deeply, and you're only investing in that business when you're certain that in 5 years this business is gonna be better? What's better? What's more riskier? Investing in that type of business or investing in the business that you don't know much about, you're kind of iffy about, you don't know if it has a competitive advantage that's going to make it last and grow in the next 5 years? Which one do you think is more risky? So when you're investing in that business, you're going to be really afraid and you're not knowing, and you're going to have to look at the market to see what it is. But when you're investing in that business that you're very sure about, you don't even care what the market does, because you know in 5, 10 years this business is going to be much bigger and stronger. In the 1996 annual shareholder meeting, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger talk all about this. So here you go, guys. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
So there's nothing magic. We like to put a lot of money in things that we feel strongly about. And that gets back to the diversification question. You know, we think diversification is, as practiced generally, makes very little sense for anyone that knows what they're doing. Diversification is a protection against ignorance. I mean, if you want to make sure that nothing bad happens to you relative to the market, you own everything. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that is a perfectly sound approach for somebody who does not feel they know how to analyze businesses. If you know how to analyze businesses and value businesses, it's crazy to own 50 stocks or 40 stocks or 30 stocks probably, because there aren't that many wonderful businesses.
So there it is. So you guys, if you like this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and I'll get back to you guys in the next video. Peace.